knife. And I think the easiest way is if we just cut it up together. Being careful not to cut the bungee. Here we have it. The Perception Outlaw 11.5. Pretty neat. Alright, starting with the bow, you've got a solid grab handle here, so it's very easy to lift the kayak from here from either direction like that, and then you move through to the storage area, which has just got a net, plasticized net over the top of it. One of the things that it does have is the paddle park there, so you can sit your paddle in there, or you can actually put your paddle, and I'll show you when I'm actually using the kayak, but you can put your paddle into there and have it up at a steep angle. If you're standing, it can make it easier, or as I said, your paddle park there. One of the really neat parts about that is that on either side there is a little groove for your paddle to sit neatly right here, so your paddle can come across like that and just sit there. Alright, so you have probably should show you this. You have in the tankwell area, the forward tankwell area, you've got a scupper there. Now that doubles as your receptacle for your transducer. So you can mount your transducer underneath right here, so it sits down like that, so it's protected by the bow there. You've got 3 threaded mounts there. They're for ram balls. You can buy them off Perception. You screw a ram ball into it. It's a 1-inch ram ball, and you can mount ram attachments to it. You have traction pads here, and also you've got an emblem there and an emblem there. You can put a small hatch into there if you wish, and you can put a smaller or larger hatch there should you wish. And then you've got more silent traction right here and right there. Now that is your footrest when you're sitting in the seat. You've got 2 tracks here. Now it's unusual for a Perception or a Wilderness. Wilderness typically come festooned with tracks. They were the first people to use track systems on their kayaks, and to this day they still use a lot of track systems. Perception, it's only a short track. It's also used as the handle to lift the kayak up and down, as you saw. Each side you have drink bottle holder, and then you have this receptacle here. Now this receptacle is actually designed to take 2 gear bags. They look like insulated bags, like a narrow lunch bag. You can buy them off Perception. They actually take Plano 3600 tackle trays, 2 of them into each side. Or you can just sit your tackle trays there, get yourself a piece of bungee, loop it across there. You can put anything else in there if you like. They're actually hollowed out a little bit there, so you could put other devices, particularly something that was, say, round, and loop it over, and it would just sit there very neatly. And they're on each side, so you've got a drink holder and you've got that receptacle there on each side. Talk about the seat for a second. So the seat's a basic stadium seat. You've got 2 adjusters there. The seat's actually super light, as you can see. Comes out and just sits down there like that. gets held into place by 4 bungee straps that hold it in, and it is not adjustable apart from the straps on the side. You have also 2 rod holders built in. So these are quite an interesting looking unit. So your rods can go in like that, right? And you can actually lock them in place because you've got a bungee that you can put over like that and lock your rod in so that it can't come out. Okay, so that's pretty neat. They're also, if you have a look, tilted back at a pretty extreme angle. So if you see that, if you're going under trees and so on, you will flex the rod quite a lot, rather than having the rod in the more traditional manner of standing upright or at a slight angle back. Now if you want to put, you might look at it and you go, first thing I thought is, well, how am I going to put 2 rods like that side by side? Well, that rod there, it depends. If you're using 2 on each side, you do that. Okay, you can't lock it in, that's the only thing. So that's all pretty easy, pretty simple. Large tank well at the back, bungees, strap whatever you like in. Another spot here where you can put a hatch, and that's really useful because you've got this flat area here which is designed for either a motor mount or a power pole, and you can get in there underneath, plate it, nut it and so on. You've also got 2 flat areas here and here, which either one you can put power pole on. You've got your serial number on that side there, and on this side here you've got your bung. So fairly basic, simple kayak. And it's actually pretty strong. It's not overly heavy. And it's quite easy to lift. Scuppers under the seat, scuppers here, scuppers there, and you've got your forward one there. It's got less flex in it than the Attack has, and the Attack's a lot bigger. Actually, it's probably more like the Titan. It's got very, very little flex in the deck. For the price point, it's about $800 US plus taxes, or around about 1,300 Australian dollars including taxes. So for the price point, seems to me like a pretty neat kayak. But what we'll do is we'll flip it over and we'll look at the underside. It's been quite, for what you pay, it's quite well thought out. Again, we'll start from the front and work our way backwards, so just bear with me. So the underside of the grab handle there and the paddle part. Then you've got your bow area here and your dedicated transducer mount there. So your transducer screws into there and sits here. I think you can see what that is like. And then you've got obviously your cable through hole there, scupper, 2 more scuppers that have, and the reason they have these chutes here is scuppers that are well designed have usually got something like that which actually draws the water through. So as you're paddling along, it'll draw the water out of off your floor area. Your centre keel here, more scuppers, and then your rear scuppers, and they don't look like it, but they're actually fluted as well, just there. And you've got 2 skid plates. You can see where I've been dragging across the backyard. So you've got 2 skid plates, one on either side. And then your rear handle here. Now this is what I wanted to show you, right? If you have a look along the back of that hole there, right? Now this is quite a wide kayak for one that's only 11.5 foot long. Now the interesting part about it is it's what they call a tri-hull. Now the head designer for Confluence happened to be one of the guys, one of the design engineers that worked on the Attack system for Wilderness back around about 2015, 2016. He then went to Bonafide after the Attack 120s came out. And if you look at something like a Bonafide RS 117, I think it is, it's around about the same dimensions, and it's a very, very, very similar hull. It's got a few more bells and whistles. For example, it doesn't have the moulded in handle, it's got the fold out handle, and, or the mounted grab handle and so on. All of which would probably reduce the weight a little bit, right? But it does remind me very much of one of those hulls. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like on the water. Don't know if I'm a big fan of the bib at the front here, and I'm just looking at this now, so it'll be interesting to see what this is like on the water, because that area there, when you don't have a transducer, that's quite exposed, and I'm thinking you're going to get a lot of wash forming in there, but we'll wait and see what happens there. Me personally, I think I would have had some sort of cover there for when that's not being used for a transducer. That's possibly something that Burley Pro or somebody like that could make. Alright, that's the hull. That's the Perception. I love these little embossed symbols on the side there. I think they're embossed. They might be a fancy sticker, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's not a bad looking craft. Be very interesting to give it a crack. So that's the Perception Outlaw 11.5. Make sure you tune in for its run on the water. We'll see what it's like.